Can GCam improve the Realme 10 Pro Plus's cameras? In this Realme 10 Pro Plus camera test and comparison, we look at some different pictures and videos taken using the stock Realme camera and Google camera. That's right, it's stock versus GCam in this Realme 10 Pro Plus camera test. The 10 Pro Plus has a good 108 megapixel main camera that performs well with the pre-installed Realme camera app, but GCam can beat it in a few situations. I have to say it was hard to find a good GCam port to use, so I ended up using a GCam port from BSG linked in the video description. To start, here's a pink flower, and both camera apps do a good job here, with the stock cam producing a brighter shot, but I'd say GCam barely wins since the stock camera app made the flower a bit too blue. For this blue chair theater shot, I think it's a tie. GCam accurately shows the lighter and darker patterns in the fabric where stock does not. But GCam blows out the highlights on the silver seat numbers, unlike the stock cam. Building landscape photo, and Realme camera wins this time. Overall, better color and better detail in the shadows, especially in the trees. Rainbow umbrella shot, and I think this is another tie. The Realme has sharper details in the umbrella's fabric, but GCam handles the pattern in the carpet much better. This is a brick lantern holder thingy, and stock definitely wins, since the GCam version is just too dark. I think this pineapple knife shot is another tie. GCam is slightly warmer, but that's the only noticeable difference I see. Please leave a comment if you think I've missed something here. This is a tricky shot, but I think GCam wins this time, due to its better contrast. It's a darker image than stock, but I think that helps it look more natural in comparison. For this under the bridge image, I like the saturation from the stock cam, but this time GCam really brings more details out of the shadows, and produces the brighter picture overall. Here's another miss for the stock cam. It doesn't seem to do well controlling highlights on bright sunny days. It does focus properly on the flower, unlike GCam, which is a bit blurry, but it's far too bright. I actually don't think either app did a very good job here, so both lose. On to selfies, night mode shots, and video, and if you're enjoying this camera test so far, please give this video a like, and thank you. Here's a selfie from the main rear camera, and GCam wins since it just looks more natural. My skin and the shadows on my face just don't look quite right from the stock cam. Unfortunately, this BSG port kept crashing when I would try to use portrait mode, so I'm thankful that the stock camera does a pretty good job here. Selfie shot in portrait mode from the selfie camera this time, and it's okay, definitely usable, but I wish the colors and contrast were a little more punchy. This selfie cam shot from GCam is a good example of what I mean by more punchy, so GCam wins again. I found a huge pile of gravel, so I took another selfie from the rear camera just to see if anything would change under different lighting conditions, and no. GCam produces a more saturated, sharper, and even brighter image this time. Night shots are interesting since the stock camera and GCam take different approaches, like with my lazy couch dog shot. Stock camera is more crisp and detailed, but a little too dark. GCam brightens things up nicely, but loses a lot of detail in the process. I prefer the brighter shot, so GCam wins for me. Different story with this fire hydrant image. The stock camera easily wins, with more detail and brightness. GCam is more saturated, but overall, just worse. For the rainbow umbrella at night, we see the same processing as the couch dog shot. This time though, I think GCam goes too far, and the image just looks mushy and lifeless. Stock cam is certainly darker, but I'll take the trade-off for the detail. Same story with this last car night shot, and again, I think stock camera wins. GCam's loss of detail just makes the scene look fake. This is grass. This is Lego grass. Video quality is sadly just okay. Its 4K footage from the main rear camera looks respectable and will be just fine if you keep the 10 Pro Plus still or use a tripod, but its stabilization is awful. If you drop to 1080, the stabilization is pretty good, but you still see rippling when I walk. GCam does offer a little improvement in terms of dynamic range at 4K, but stabilization doesn't improve. The selfie camera is pretty bad for video. Stabilization is weak, colors and contrast are worse in comparison to GCam, and GCam is not that much better, just a little more natural. Alright, here's the Realme 10 Pro Plus with stabilization on for the selfie camera. Alright, here's the Realme 10 Pro Plus, but GCam for the selfie video. I did turn off stabilization just to see if that would help. It did not. So the Realme 10 Pro Plus has a strong camera for photos that can sometimes be improved with GCam, but video is rough. If you're looking for another device with a better camera system, check out this video right up here. Thanks for watching. Please leave a comment with any questions you might have, and I will answer them perfectly. You might just have to adjust your definition of perfect.